Well folks, hello again, and I hope you're all still keeping well, hey. Back out after the hooded crows again this morning. Seems like I've been doing a lot of this last while, so I hope you're not getting sick of it. Now, none of yous will probably recognise this farm, as I haven't shot over it for years and haven't really recorded any footage of it. But it neighbours on to another couple of farms that have been lambing this last while, and one of which is the one I shot 8 hooded crows on. So there is more crows here, and I decided to come to this field. It's probably a quarter of a mile away from the other farm, to try and get the rest of the hooded crows, or at least cut their numbers down a wee bit further. Now it's probably just after 5 AM at this point, and I've the hide already set up in the hedgerow, and I'm setting out a dead hooded crow as a decoy and a little grass nest with some fake eggs in it as a bait, because I don't have any dead rabbits at the minute. Now this is a technique I've used quite often in the past, quite successfully, and as you can probably already hear, it's worked quite successfully this morning as well. So successfully that I'm not even in the hide yet. I'm actually relieving myself in the hedge when the crows have taken an interest in the decoy setup.
Oh, be in peace.
But I do manage to get myself tucked into the hide and start the process of getting the shooting sticks and the rifle set up and loaded. And of course, while I'm doing this, the crows outside are going doolally over the little fake nest and the decoy bird I've set up. Now, with all this commotion, you couldn't blame me for thinking, boy, this is grand, I'm going to have a quick result this morning. But no, none of the birds would land on the ground. Instead, they flew round and round and then all piled into a nearby tree. The bravest bird to land was this magpie, which is a legitimate target, though I didn't want to shoot it in front of the hooded crows, because it would probably put them off from landing altogether, and who could really blame them? But landing seemed to be the furthest thing from the crows' minds at the minute. All they wanted to do was dive bomb the decoy. So once things went a wee bit quiet and the birds cleared off, I quickly nipped out and left at the decoy bird, hoping that once the birds come back again, they'd see an unguarded nest full of eggs and be more inclined to land. Now this next bit's a wee bit embarrassing, because the neighbouring 2 farms have been having trouble with foxes. Now, between me and another shooter, we have accounted for 4 of them so far, but I thought I'd bring the 17 Hornet with me, even though I'm only shooting 60-70 yards, in case I saw, yes, a fox. And sure enough, a fox appeared, and he probably got within about 30 yards of me before he caught my wind. But until I got home and started editing the footage, I never knew it was there. What a missed opportunity. Talk about wind. No wonder the fox smelt me. Oh look, the magpie's back. Though I decided to leave it alone. I really want to go at those hooded crows. But it's a good thing it doesn't have a decent sense of smell, hey. Now, it's been a couple of hours since I left at my decoy, but all it seems to have done is kill off the crow's interest in the setup altogether. So, when I spotted a rabbit in the far hedgerow, I thought to myself, a change of bait might be just what I need. So, now with a freshly shot rabbit for bait, I decided to redo the whole setup. I pegged the decoy crow back out again, I lifted the little grass nest and the fake eggs up, then set the rabbit out for bait, splitting its belly open and making it look as if something killed it and walked away and left it. Now, it wasn't too long before a couple of hooded crows must have noticed the rabbit and quickly landed onto the ground. Notice how different the bird's attitude is to the decoy setup now compared to this morning, as both of them are quite calm with no loud crowing or aggressive behaviour. I thought I might get a double here for a brief second, but the birds never did line up quite right. So I decided to hurry up and take the shot before the both of them spooked. That was a long wait for that crow, but we've got one in the bag. I made a rash decision to go out and set the bird I'd shot up as a decoy, thinking that the other crows were well out of sight, but I think they were closer to me than what I realised. The birds did return again, but they were being awfully cautious. Remember, this is the same group that I shot 8 out of one morning before, and I've just after shooting another one. So they were being very reluctant to land, and instead started dive bombing the decoys over and over again. Now, this went on for some time, until one bird finally did land, but I decided to zoom the camera in for a better shot, but for some reason my finger kept slipping off the button, so by the time I got it zoomed in, it flew off. I was that annoyed, I could have spat the dummy out, as we say in Northern Ireland. So the crows went back to their dive bombing, over and over again. Some of them are right and close to. I think that decoy bird got a good clobber in a time or two. Then, every now and again, they would land back up in the tree, as if they were catching their wind before the next barrage. All I could do was sit tight and have patience, because I knew one of them was going to make a mistake at some point. And finally, after a good bit of patience, that's just what one bird did. But this time, I didn't muck around with trying to zoom the camera in. Obviously after the shot, the birds all cleared off, so I decided to quickly nip out and take the bird I just shot and set it into my decoy cradle, then set it over the top of the bird that I was using for my decoy to make it look as if they were fighting. I didn't know whether it would work or not, but I was hoping to rile the birds up enough that they might actually land again. Now, it did take some time before the birds took an interest again, and when they did, it was back into the same sort of dive bombing and flying overhead, then landing into the trees in the distance, rather than landing on the ground. Plus, as you've probably noticed, the weather was starting to deteriorate badly, and my patience was starting to grow thin. But I still clung on to the idea that there was a possibility I might get a third one. And sure enough, I got my opportunity, and wisely decided not to zoom in with the camera and let the Tacticam do the close-up work. That makes 3, and a happy hunter. Well, until I got home and realised there was a fox sitting in front of me that I never saw. I'm going to have to be careful who I tell that to, because I'll never live it down. Well, this was a real mixture of a morning. I started out with a little fake nest and some fake eggs in it to try and attract the birds, and sure enough they did come. They came that quick. I was still outside the hide having a wee pee. Hadn't got into the hide yet and they came, so they might have saw me and that might have put them off for a while, but I sat and I waited. They were interested, but they wouldn't land. So I took my decoy bird away and just left the little nest with the eggs in it. That seemed to kill the mood altogether. The birds seemed to disappear. Then I seen a rabbit in a hedge and I shot it for the bait. Set it out with my decoy bird again, and 2 birds landed and I got a shot at one of them. Then I waited and waited and the birds, they went a wee bit mad. When I set this bird up, I think that was the first one I shot, I set it up as a decoy with a little wire stake, and the birds went a wee bit mad, constantly dive bombing my decoy bird and hitting it, but they wouldn't land until one finally did, and it was up and away again before I got the shot, because I was mucking about with the camera trying to get it to zoom in for a better angle and missed my opportunity, and I was really kicking myself for that. So I waited and finally another one landed, and this time I left the camera alone and I just concentrated on the shot and put him down. Then I came out after a while and set the bird I just shot up on the little decoy stand over the top of the other bird to make it look as if they're fighting, and that seemed to rekindle them a wee bit, but not much. But that was enough that this third bird landed finally and I got a shot at it, and done a number on it too. So that was 3 and a rabbit, but it was a long morning. I think I've been here 6 hours, and it's been raining most of the morning, so I'm sort of damp. I'm looking to get packed up, get home and get a nice warm shower. So cheer bye folks. we'll just do a wee tidy up before we go. The farmers don't like picking up dead things among the silage, as it can poison the cows. Well folks, that was hard fought for just 3 crows, and proof that they do get smarter every time you hit them, but at least we didn't blank, hey. And if you're wondering what the rifle is, it's a CZ-527 varmint, centerfire rifle, chambered in 17 Hornet. The scope is a Miopta 4-16 by 44 tactical. The suppressor is a Wildcat Panther, and I'm using my own home loads with 20 grain VMAX bullets, going at about 3,500 feet per second. Anyway, thanks for watching folks, and take care and look after yourselves, hey.